update you with some new information that we'd like you to pass on to the community.
Oh no. I mean, okay, great.
Is there a problem?
No. Well, yes. I mean, it's been pretty tense out there the last couple of weeks.
The problem is that you guys are
I was kind of
wrong.
thinking it might be a good idea to lay low for a while.
Yeah, okay, I
Not
get
them.
that, but honestly, this
Blizzard.
is great news, and everyone is gonna love you for it, I promise.
Yeah, last time you said that, you wanted me to announce a new store mount.
Okay, this is a home run. It's about WoW Classic.
Oh god. You've cancelled WoW Classic, haven't you? You want me to tell them you've cancelled WoW Classic?
Josh,
Okay.
no, I told
Okay.
you, it's good news. WoW Classic is releasing early.
What?
Yeah, it's finished. So
Wait,
it's
what?
releasing in full the month after BlizzCon. It's going to be free
Wait, what the fuck?
to anyone who wants to play it. It's
Wait,
going to
what?
be exactly the same as Vanilla WoW. Anyone who installs it will also receive a handwritten letter from me apologizing for everything that they don't like in BfA. Oh, and $100 store credit compensation.
Okay.
That's actually really great.
Yeah, and that's not all. We need you to announce that we're bringing out playable high elves and ogres in patch 8.1.
Oh!
And if you've got time, you can reveal the new
This
plans
is
for
getting me
player
excited,
housing too.
and it's not even real.
This is all so great. You are making my job so much easier. Anything else?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We're buffing Shaman.
Really? Oh wow! This is so... Oh, no. Wait a minute. Say that last one again?
We're buffing Shaman.
Yeah.
It's
this
a
is
dream.
isn't it?
Yep.
Josh? 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 Josh?
Yes, Ian?
Yeah, so just inform the community that we will be adding Azerite armor to Classic, and then you can break for lunch, okay?
Yes, Ian.
Are you crying?
Knowledge is power.
Hello everyone, and
That's
welcome
about
back
right.
to the weekly reset, Taliesin Nevertell's wondrous wisdom show. And this
Okay.
week we've got classic news. We've got hype about classic news, and backlash from classic news, and backlash against the backlash from the classic news, and also some stuff that isn't classic news, like lore basically becoming the official Blizzard sacrificial lamb, or punch bag, or moustache twirling villain, depending on your point of view. Because
The last
Azerite
one.
armor, though. Plus, you remember those yellow and red spoiler alert warning things we introduced last episode? Yeah.
So
well,
where
I
is
hope
the
you like them,
Azerite
because
armor
you are
part?
going to be seeing
Does anybody
a
know?
lot of them this time as we dive
'Cause the
headfirst
video's kinda
into some
long.
Absolutely
Is it
dizzying
31
data
minutes in?
mining,
Is that
taking
right?
in Saurfang, Tyrande, the Proudmoors, the Siege of
let's
Zuldazar,
see.
Mechatorp, Gallywix, and reveal the
Okay, let me
greatest
just click
evil
ahead a little
universe.
bit, okay?
WoW this year consists of Horde and Alliance cloaks.
Wow.
Which are really nice. I mean, they're cloaks. The Alliance one is blue, the Horde one is red. Everything seems to be in order. GG, well done. And also Horde and Alliance banners, which
But where's the
should
pet?
leave me as unmoved as the cloaks. I know, but
17
honestly,
minutes
these are
in.
So
Okay.
great. Like, why am I so impressed by dagger Zalatath? Although he actually gets sent on a mount is like, how could this scene possibly get any better? Oh yeah, that's right. She starts talking Welsh. Now you,
What the fuck?
frankly, or to it's the new not
I'm clicking around.
And Jaina all appear as boss fights in one form.
Cool.
Freeze.
So where's that?
Nearest
Where's the Azerite drama?
And engaging this.
Where,
BlizzCon.
Oh!
where's the Azerite drama?
So,
And I was like, you're not engaging with the problems I'm raising.
featuring Taliesin's E-face, which you all want on a shirt.
They're
Okay.
having problems. We're not. We're fine. They're having problems. But in the next couple of days, it'll be up. There will be a link in the description below as soon as it's up.
Yeah.
And so if you're from the US, you can now go and get normal people that WoW Classic demo, which you can't
I'm
on. And yes,
doing my
doing the
best,
same
guys.
traits on
Oh,
highlight-
okay, here we go. So
They
whoever
also
said
have
it
to
was
look at-
17 minutes in is a fucking idiot. Okay? Wait, who said 17 minutes in?
resolved to everyone's
Okay.
satisfaction. I think this is quite
Here
a
we
nice
go.
low-key example of that. For me, by far the most important thing about any of this anyway,
All right.
now they have announced 8.1 and revealed a playable classic demo before
Oh.
BlizzCon. It just makes me even more curious about what they could possibly reveal in BlizzCon. And yes, I know it's all about Diablo this year, but they have to say something
what?
about WoW. And the two things I would have put money on are already out there. So is
Yeah.
there a big WoW reveal coming out? And
Very
what's
unlikely.
it going to be? And now I really want to put the spoiler warning up and talk about Welsh old gods, but I can't because there's something else we have to look at. Another little taste of
Okay,
Schrödinger's
this is-
Blizzard in action.
this is where
later
people
on
are
in the
mad.
week with my absolute favorite subject in the whole of WoW, Azerite armor. community manager Law decided to respond to a long,
So
thorough,
fun.
and well-reasoned post entitled Azerite, Worst Itemization in WoW's History, which
There it
summarized
is.
the problems with Azerite armor in its current form, basically as you can't target the gear you want. The chance of you getting
Yep.
the piece you want in the weekly cache is 1 in 100. The vast
Cache.
majority of traits are useless and uninteresting. Refarming the
Yep.
same traits on higher eye level gear feels bad. The things the
Yep.
traits do are unintuitive and all need simming to make sense of. The traits are all very
Mostly.
unbalanced. The reforge cost reintroduces the exact spec lock problem people had in Legion, but
That's true.
worse, the tuning taking place right now means we don't know what gear is going to end up the best gear anyway. This was the post that
Okay.
Law responded to with a pretty detailed blue post of his own, and we'll get to that in a second. But the problems highlighted in this OP are problems that I think the majority of the community can agree with on regards to Azerite armor. I mean, I could nitpick. I think that at least 3 of these points are describing the same problem. I think the first point talks like a Mythic Plus is the only way to get Azerite armor, which it's not. Also, it gets its maths slightly wrong on that subject as well, but not to an extent that actually matters. The traits are definitely largely uninteresting, but they certainly aren't useless, because if they were, you wouldn't be targeting one trait over all the others.
Yes,
That
they
trait
are.
Clearly is more useful to you.
Some
It's
are.
uninspiring stat padding, yes, but that's not without use. It's something that you'd rather have than not. The reforge cost is categorically not the exact same spec lock problem people had in Legion, because when you change spec in BfA, you still have the same amount of artifact power as you had on your other spec. You don't have to level your weapon again from scratch. Small, ultimately unimportant points like that, but it doesn't matter overall. The fact is, none of these points, broadly, are very controversial. They may affect different players to varying degrees, but they are problems which I think we can all agree exist with the Azerite system, even
Okay.
if not exactly in the ways described here. Another
All right.
important note about this post, it gathers together most of the complaints about Azerite armor in one handy place, but purposely offers pretty much nothing in the way of suggestions to fix it. That's not the purpose of the post. It's a good post. It deserves a reply, and so to Law's reply, which, to be frank, probably didn't go down as well as he might have hoped. I'm not about to get into a big discussion about Azerite armor right now, okay? Big subject that we're actually going to dedicate the midweek video to. I actually think most of the frustration stems from one singular aspect that can be quite easily fixed, but let's be clear, I recognize these problems, and I'm not interested in solving them in this segment. That comes in the video in the week. No, here I want to look at Law's response, and more specifically, the responses to Law's response, because it's being held up as all sorts of wrong. So join us as we give
All right.
Law some shit. So first off, let's give Law
Okay.
shit for being really insulting and dismissive to the player base while looking down at them from his ivory tower. I think what really got me was the tone, opening with a really confused quip and one of the most spectacular criticism dodges I've seen. The quip in question is where Law says he thinks the title of the post is a bit hyperbolic, which it is, and brings up AQ40 resistance gear farming as an example of worse itemization, which obviously is a terrible example, but is it tone deaf or dismissive or attempting to dodge criticism?
Yes.
Because literally the next thing he writes is, you've summarized a lot of the discussion we've been seeing around the community really well. That's not dismissive. What's tonally inappropriate about saying you summarized a lot of the discussion we've seen around the community
Because you
really
phrased
well?
it as being
Where's
incorrect.
the attempt to dodge criticism in that? Likewise, in the course of his post, he agrees that there's a problem with gear targeting. He agrees about trait imbalance. He agrees that refarming traits is no fun. And he agrees that constant reforging is rubbish and is not the system working as intended. That's the vast majority of criticism in this post that Law is accepting here as accurate. That doesn't strike me as criticism dodging or dismissive. For most of the points, he also goes on to suggest fixes for those issues, which, don't forget, the OP doesn't. He's honest in saying that they don't yet have a fix for the refarming trait problem, which for me is the easiest fix of all, but there you go. He gets a little bit confused in his response to the simming point, but he's just talking about a slightly different thing from the OP, and that's really unfortunate, but it's not malicious. And essentially what we've got here is
Okay.
everyone agreeing with each other on what the problems are. And I don't see how that means that the issue here is Blizzard not acknowledging what the problems are, because I can see them doing it right here, and I know what you're thinking. I can hear you right now typing in the comments calling me a Blizzard shill, but I'm not a Blizzard
Hey,
shill.
it's you
I'm a
guys.
person shill, because this is a real life person here that you are tearing apart and accusing of being bad at their job because they agree with most of the points in this post, but also made a bad joke about the title of the post. And as someone who makes bad jokes every day of his life, please let's not start flaming blaming people for that. So look, this is not a defense of Blizzard, and it's not a defense of the Azerite system, okay? I think Blizzard need to put on their big boy pants on this and deal with it, but I think the community do too. And not just habitually lash out at sincere attempts at engagement. I disagree with most of the solutions suggested here, but accusing Blizz and Law of dismissing the points raised in the first place is inaccurate and unhelpful, and a clear case of Schrodinger's Blizzard, who simultaneously ignore your concerns, but also suggest fixes for your concerns which you don't agree with. Both of those things can't be happening. Personally, there's a lot that I like about the Azerite armor system. In theory, it doesn't need scrapping, and actually a couple of very obvious changes I think would solve every issue. And like I say, don't worry, because I'm going to single-handedly solve the Azerite problem next video for free. Like,
Thank God,
you don't
that's more
even have to
content.
pay me. So now, finally, let me put up that big red spoiler warning. I'm going to talk data mining, and I'm going to talk old gods, and I've earned this.
So, if you say thanks for putting it together, and then you add right after that, what you're saying is hyperbolic, which implies that it's wrong and misguided. And then after you say that it's misguided, then you say that this summarizes what the community has been thinking. You're indirectly saying that the community is misguided. Like that, I mean, does nobody see through this? So, on top of that, it seems very obvious to me that this post was dismissive, right? And it very much was. And also acknowledging concerns, which is what Lore did. Lore did acknowledge that they were concerns, is good, right? And I'm not saying that was completely wrong. And if you're saying that somebody is bad at their job, and if their job is communication, and they communicate what you want them to hear, but people aren't happy, but their job is communication, I would consider that a bad post, because the post's goal was to communicate properly and make people happy, and that did not happen, even though the people got what they wanted. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. On top of that, let's see, what else do we have? Call McConnell? All right, I'll call McConnell. I'll see what he says about it. Check whispers from McConnell. Just a second. Okay. He said the title was hyperbolic, not the content. The title is about the content. Like, that's what I'm saying, is the title is about the content. Like, there's always plausible deniability, but there are subconscious draws and subconscious sways that you put on things in order to make people think something different than what you're actually trying to say. Okay. Yo.
What a joke. What a freaking joke.
Just
Number one, straight off the bat, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well,
he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I don't want to have you come on and roast this guy, okay? Like, we can address, like, let's address the arguments. I don't want to start any drama. I might disagree with what he's saying, but you can do it on your stream. I have no problem with that. But I don't want to have any sort of drama, okay? I have nothing against these guys. I disagree with what they're saying. I disagree with them supporting it, right? But I'm not going to be a dick. I'm a good guy.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, what are you going to say?
He is wrong.
Okay. Why is he wrong?
Because Lore went to the smart people's place, the colleges, to understand how to write to the community, right?
Okay.
He knows how to manage the community. Lore knows what he's saying, okay? And I can't say too much about him because he's a partnered streamer, so you have to be careful. All right, I have to be careful with criticizing him. But it's obvious to me that he's trying to stick up for Lore because he thinks that he's above criticism. Like, oh, he knows what he's doing. He was just addressing your concerns and stuff like that. No, he wasn't. He's being dismissive. It's obvious Lore is being dismissive. You see it. I see it. Everybody
well, here's
in
the
chat
thing,
sees
right?
it.
Is like, so being dismissive, let's look at, like, what is dismissive? Being dismissive is a judgment based off of, you know, what somebody is saying, right? That's pretty much what it is. It's a judgment. So there is no, like, are there things that basically make it sound and things that are more or less always dismissive? Yes, there are, but dismissive is a subjective judgment. So if most of the people in the community that are reading this are saying that it's being dismissive, it's one of those things that if a lot of people are taking it that way, then it's that way. Now, if it wasn't intended to be that way, that's different. But if everybody's thinking that it's dismissive, in a way, that makes it dismissive. Yeah, perception is reality. There it is. Do you want to do RBGs, by the way, McConnell?
Yeah, but let's